All right, welcome back to the channel. Evander Holyfield criticizes and praises Deontay Wilder at the same time. Deontay Wilder, the WBC heavyweight champion, and you know Holyfield, Hall of Famer, the man, the real deal. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, I want to say a special thank you to my two communities that support the channel so much, the live stream community and the Patreon community. My live stream community, thank you so much. Definitely remember to be there at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday mornings for OG Boxing Talk with my executive producer, Blood Boxing, my co-hosts, KQKC Boxing, Curtis Anderson, and my man, Trap House Boxing, the newest member of the team. Make sure you're there. We had about 7,000 people in there this last Sunday, and it was just an electric atmosphere. Great live stream. Now, let's go into this, man. Evander Holyfield read my mind. He read my mind. Evander Holyfield is a former heavyweight champion. I think he's the first guy to win a belt 5 times, some ridiculous amount of times. He kept winning the belt because he fought for a very long time. And there's a lot of belts. But in his prime, one of the best heavyweights, dominant heavyweights of the 1990s and the early 2000s. The absolute man, a living legend in the sport of boxing, Evander Holyfield. His son, Evan Holyfield, got a first-round knockout on the undercard for the Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev fight. His son, Evan Holyfield, is signed to Kathy Duva of Main Events. So, as always, when Holyfield is at press conference, is at fights, people surround him, ask a bunch of questions about boxing and definitely the heavyweight division. So that's what they did for Holyfield when he was at the fight. And they asked him what he thought about a fight between Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz 2. And he sounded, man, I can't tell you, man, I thought exactly what this guy thought. He was like, why? Man, why would Deontay Wilder take that fight? That is a dangerous fight against a guy, a big, strong southpaw that can knock you out, that nobody else wants to fight, that you already beat. A guy like Luis Ortiz, you beat him, you get out of there, you say, whoo, I got out of there, I beat him, and then you go on about your business and let other people see and prove whether or not they can beat Luis Ortiz. Unfortunately, for Luis Ortiz, there's no other takers for Luis Ortiz. But Deontay Wilder, being Deontay Wilder, is running his head right back in the fire with Luis Ortiz this November on pay-per-view that I am buying because it is a fight that is worth watching. It's a fight where you don't know the outcome. Unlike what we just witnessed against Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev, I knew the outcome of that fight. I knew that Canelo was going to win. I didn't think it was going to be a knockout. I just thought that he was going to win on the cards because it's Canelo Alvarez and it's Las Vegas. It's the zone. He's going to win on the card. Kovalev has been done. He's been cooked. Shoot, he lost the fight. He lost the fight back in 2017, or was it late 2016 and mid 2017 when he got beat by Andre Ward back-to-back. Then you got a guy like Alvarez knocking him out, and then Anthony Yarde almost knocking him out. Hey, Canelo Alvarez just came by and got sloppy fifths and finished it off. So, hey, man, whatever. You knew what the outcome of that fight was going to be. You do not know what the outcome is going to be in heavyweight fights most times because these guys are all very big and very heavy hitters. Luis Ortiz looks big on TV. I mean, he just looks like, you see a picture of him and you can tell, no, that's a big old boy. And he's a southpaw and he already hurt Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder going back into it, man, is something that clearly he didn't have to do. but something he chose to do because he wants to take on the best competition and he wants to apparently give people value for the money that they paid, which is why he didn't charge people on pay-per-view for Dominic Brazil. He said, hey man, that's not a pay-per-view fight. Dominic Brazil, I'm about to take his head off real quick. This one's for free. You know what I mean? So, but Holyfield made some observations about Deontay Wilder. And he said, man, this guy's confidence is off the charts. And Holyfield specifically said, look, man, I'm very confident. Very, very confident. But Deontay Wilder, wow. He said that confidence is what's most important. And he also made a comment about what Deontay Wilder is able to do with as little relative experience that he has to Holyfield. He said when he was talking about when Luis Ortiz had hurt Deontay Wilder in the fight, he said, look, man, how many people that start boxing when they're 19, 20 years old know to come forward when you get hurt? The natural response or the natural reaction to somebody when they get hit is to move away from what hurt them, not to move closer to what hurts you. But when you do that, this is Evander Holyfield talking. When you do that, though, you get closer to the guy and the guy doesn't have the ability to hurt you. You also see that you saw the same thing happen that Holyfield is talking about when Deontay Wilder hurt Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, who's been boxing since he was born, when he got hurt, he knew to come forward to Deontay Wilder and not to move away from Deontay Wilder where he could get hit on the end of the punches. And he did it instinctively when he was hurt. That's what Holyfield says that he saw in Deontay Wilder. And when Holyfield said it, he was like, look, I've been fighting since I was 8 years old. I know all of this stuff. It's amazing to him that somebody that has fought, that only started fighting when he was 19 or 20 years old would know that. Now, the reason that I think that is because Deontay Wilder is a very smart guy. And clearly he's very dedicated to his craft and he continues to try to get better. So going into this fight with Luis Ortiz, although I am very, very nervous about the fight, I am slightly less nervous than I was the first fight for Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz, because quiet is kept, and I kept it quiet. I didn't make a prediction for Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, number one, because I thought to myself, my heart is with Deontay Wilder, and it is. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not a Deontay Wilder supporter. With all the madness going on in boxing today, Deontay Wilder is a streak of sanity. He's a guy that actually wants to fight the best competition. He's a guy that's actually giving you more quality than the hype that surrounds him. He's not somebody that has a full-time marketing campaign going on around him. Well, at least he wasn't. He kind of is now with Fox, but he's not somebody that's got a team of journalists, on retainer via being paid by access to fighters, similar to the matchroom fighters like Anthony Joshua or Canelo Alvarez or ESPN and Top Ranks Vasily Lomachenko, where you have boxing writers drooling over him and making up all kind of obscure, irrelevant records to give him credit for. Deontay Wilder is actually doing things that are historical, that are worthy of historical comparisons, and not having very many people talk about them at all. Like the fact that he's got 40 knockouts. Like the fact that he has defended the WBC title if he wins this fight, he is in a very small group of heavyweights that have defended a heavyweight title 10 times, who have successfully defended a heavyweight title 10 times. Those are more title defenses than either of the two reigns of Muhammad Ali. Not a lot of people know that. Muhammad Ali, who in my opinion is the greatest heavyweight fighter ever, and with respect to scraphook boxing, who has a different system than I do, but Muhammad Ali's my guy, and he defended his belts, I believe, 8 times or 9 times on 2 different occasions. But Deontay Wilder getting to 10 title defenses and having done it in a span of 5 complete years, because that's what it'll be. He fights in November. He won his belt in January of 2015. It will be, if he gets past Luis Ortiz, he won't fight again till after January of 2020. That is a 5-year title reign. That is long. So clearly this guy has been getting a lot better. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to the fight. I love Evander Holyfield's insight into Deontay Wilder and the specialness of Deontay Wilder and the courage of Deontay Wilder, but borderline craziness of Deontay Wilder, because he doesn't even have to take the chances he's taken. Anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.